All right. What is going on, guys? Different scenery. Back from Junior Worlds. Just gonna go over some thoughts, some things that have been running through my mind. Tina's using the garage, so I just found a park around the way. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope that for those of you that watched, you were a bit entertained. As you know, Junior Worlds was quite eventful. So I'm just gonna skim over my lifters real quick, and then I'll just kind of talk about some overarching themes. First off, it was great to see everybody. That meet really reminds me how many of you guys actually watch these videos and have been watching me for a while now. I've been on YouTube for 9 years. I've actually been on YouTube way longer than that, doing something else. But for powerlifting, I've been doing it for 9 years, almost 10 years on YouTube. On social media, I don't even know. And powerlifting even longer than that. So it's just very rewarding to go to these competitions and meet so many people from all over the place, see the next generation, have a chance to work with some of that next generation. And, you know, it is, nobody thought 5-10 years ago that the youth would be so ahead in the sport. And it's just amazing to see the evolution of everything. So that being said, had a couple lifters compete before the meet that were, I didn't get an opportunity to handle them. They were just handled by their respective, countries. For sure, Regan and Astrid. I mean, I didn't have a pass for that country, so their country handled them. Astrid competed, who actually went down a weight class. She did great. She just kept losing weight. She was feeling great and just losing weight. And when it kind of get a little bit more, if the time comes, we're moving up a weight class now, but I'd like to figure out exactly why that was happening one of these days, because there could be potential there in that lower weight class. For Esperanza, I mean, you guys already know we just had a super meet at NAPF, and I didn't really know what we would have left. Like, they told us, like, the week, I already made her block. I sent her block, and then they go, hey, do you want to do Worlds? And I'm like, dang, not only did I plan to go all out at NAPF, so that programming was, like, fully just adjusting for that, but then to add in that variable of, like, competing, I wouldn't have detrained her as hard as I did to have her peak so hard at that first meet. And I just said, hey, like, look, let's take the opportunity. One thing that is positive, though, she fought hard. She didn't quit. That prep was really hard. Anybody that knows doing back-to-back preps like that, even just like hormonally, it's going to be very difficult for your body to handle that. But she handled business. I'm going to turn this way because I don't know if the wind is hitting the mic. I think it's okay. I'm seeing the little monitor thing and it's fine. But yeah, I mean, we did what we could in the time that we could, and obviously that performance was not her top end strength. It was just what we had on the day. And I, as a person, as a lifter, being able to have that super meet and then put yourself through another prep right after because you want to go to Junior Worlds. I mean, she is a fighter. She's a trooper. She knows we just had her best meet. And it is, even though you know that, it still feels bad to not have a good meet. Like, when I say good meet, you're comparing it to your best meet ever, right? That was like 4 weeks ago. That you didn't even know you were doing until you already got your next block, which was not even adjusted for this meet. But she did it. And I mean, we just did the best we could. And that's all that you can really do in those situations. But she understands that, and these are the types of things that are going to make her very versed lifter when she gets into the open in many, many years from now. Who we got next? I helped out with Brandon Jones and Mr. Noriega, and it looked like Brandon was just I mean, I'm not really too sure. Some of the training, I don't want to speak too much on it, but like he was just like a little off, and we did the best that we could on the day. And Brandon's a great guy, you know, and we just tried to max him out. And at the end of the day, you can only put out there what you have, right? So just needed to be stronger on the day. Same thing with Esperanza, needed to be stronger on the day, but it was still fun to do it. I had a lot of fun during that session, actually. Kind of felt like it's, when you're a handler and it's not your lifter, it's like you're just doing an objective. There's not emotion attached because you don't know that you're not attached to the person. You're just doing the job, right? You're just calling the numbers, how you see them. You're providing whatever feedback you can, helping out wherever you can, timings, whatever, changing attempts, doing what you got to do to just be helpful. And it's nice to do that sometimes instead of always having to be like, oh my God, the world is gonna meme us if we miss this lift, right? And then for Regan, just gonna break down a couple things. So we had a good prep, but this is our first travel, so we didn't really know what was gonna happen. And then came into the meet. He broke like all of his characteristics from Worlds. We just did Open Worlds. Now we're doing Junior Worlds. And he had a good second squat at Open Worlds and missed his third squat after a small jump. Had like a decent second squat at Junior Worlds. Hit a PR in his second. Took a jump on his third and even made it move better, right? So that was not what he did at Worlds. So like he's getting better, he's learning, he's adapting. He is, in every sense of the word, a gamer. I'm trying to protect you guys from the wind right now. He is a gamer. He is somebody who will adapt on the fly and do what he needs to do to handle business. Going into the bench press, as you guys can see, missed the first one. I watched his feet just shoot out from under him on the unrack and the press. I'm going like this. I'm like, run it back, right? Like telling the handler, like, yo, let's run it again. Because I'm in the crowd, right? And then they go up 5 kilos. And I'm like, hey, you know what? We hit it 2 days ago, smoked it. He could do that. I know he's strong enough to do that. Same thing happens, looks pretty bad. I had people in the crowd. I love them. I love these people, but they were telling me, hey man, it's over. Chalk it up. Pack the bags. See ya. It was a nice try. And I said, hey, I got a feeling things are gonna work out. So I used my reality stone to change the future in conjunction with the time stone and the tesseract, right? We changed the future, we warped space and time, and he pressed his third like it was supposed to be, right? Could have gone up another 7 kilos from there, but it is what it is. And then for deadlift, we just said, let's go 362 on a second. That's gonna make Nathan have to pull 380, which is still a big number. And then we smoked it, and then I'm like, he passed out. I think it's a combination of the altitude. I went over his recomp, and I don't think it was anything with that. It was most likely a little bit more extra sodium. So maybe a little bit more extra sodium in the system, but the altitude is much higher. And the brace that he gets on his deadlift is like crazy. So I think that played a factor. Yeah, and just passed out. Doctor ran to the back. I ran to the back, checked on him. Doctor said, he's good. He said, I'm good. I was just lightheaded. Everything was perfectly fine. So then we went out, did it again. They were making him hold it for a bit. So he held it for a while, and then he got it, but he passed out again, even harder this time. And that 370 moved very, very fast. And I think that, I think he definitely, if we needed to, we probably could have taken the 380. Maybe a little more than that if he ever needs to go for it. But shout out to Nathan. Takes 2 to tango. If you're not there, we don't really push this hard for this meet, and I might not even show up. So I really appreciate him being there and us able to handle business with that. So, that being said, I had a really good time. It was cool to see Regan just kind of fight through. I have a team of fighters, right? They're gonna handle business, and they're gonna do the things that they need to do to kind of push through and make sure that they're just not going to quit. And that's one thing that I don't want to see, is like when a lifter, they run into a little bit of adversity, they run into something difficult about whatever it is that they're doing, and then they just kind of give up. I would like to think that here at FLEXX, we do not, we just have a culture of like winners and doing everything that you can to put yourself in a position to be successful, and not giving up and understanding what goes into these meets. And, Regan could have been mentally flustered and said, hey, I'm passing out. I'm really, scared. I don't want to go again. And I would have been like, hey, man, I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. But he's like, absolutely not. I knew there was no question with him. Like, I'm going for it, brother. I'm going for it. And I'm like, I get it. Met a lot of really just, the vibe of the meet was happiness. It was excitement for the future. It was, I'm happy to be here. The meet venue was great. There was a place to eat right next to it. Shout out to Daisy's parents. I call her Daisy, but her name is Esperanza. Shout out to her parents, taking care of me that one night. They always support, and I think they're great. I think they're awesome. It was nice meeting, just like so many of you guys have stories that you'll remember a moment when one of the FLEXX lifter did a thing, and that thing like stuck with you, or I said something in a video and that stuck with you. You guys are like saying it back to me, and I was like, oh my God, I said this like 3 years ago. And it's just like, man, I got to keep going, because you never know who's watching. So my hotel was right down the street. It was a little walk, maybe like 8 minutes. There was a grocery store right next to the venue. Costa Rica was like super chill. It was great. I didn't have any complaints. The weather was fine. It wasn't hot. It's usually like super hot at these things. We had a pendulum squat in my hotel gym. I don't know, but I did it. Got a good leg pump. Destroyed the quads. It was easy to get protein. It was easy to get weight cut supplies. It was easy to just do whatever it is that we needed to do. So good location. Happy with the performances. Like, not happy, but like for what we were working with, we handled it, right? Regan's moving into the open now. Daisy's still got like 2 or 3 more years. So be looking to develop them as much as I can. I have SPD Austin coming up. Really, really excited for that. I think we're gonna see some unofficial world records broken. And if I could leave you guys with one thing, it's like, for sure, emphasize in training the competition standard. Because when you go to these international competitions and you're traveling and you're dealing with different judging, different variables, whatever, you never know what is going to happen on the day. And if we didn't get that bench, like, yeah, we're the favorite and we just lose, right? We're out. It's kind of like what happened at the World Games with Alba and Shara. Like, we were ready for that run back. It was going to be a tough fight, and she bombs out on bench. Honestly, she got kind of screwed, and then we just win. And it's like, that's no fun. So super unfortunate for that. But also for you young lifters that really want numbers now, you want attempts now, you want to prove yourself to the world now. I promise you, if you really want that 200 kg squat, but you end with a 195 and you have 5 in the tank or 2 in the tank, and you know for next time that you'll have it, you're gonna feel better than if you try that 200 squat early and you miss it, and now you're out. Or your total is like ruined and you could have like barely made first, and now you're like fighting for third, right? And I could tell you guys this, right? I could tell you guys this all I want, but it's one of those things that sometimes you just got to kind of experience it. And there's literally situations where I'll be like, hey man, let them try, let them feel what that feels like, and then they're gonna want to make a change for the better after that. There's a couple other things that are on my mind that I want to kind of go over, but I think I'll save that for another video. All in all, I thought Junior Worlds was pretty good. I'm excited for the next one. I think meets are getting better. They're getting more refined. that was like my first time in Latin America for a meet. So, I mean, it's the hospitality and the respect and the love is just off the charts. And, you know, let's see where powerlifting takes us next. So that's it. Just want to check in with you guys, show face a little bit. Maybe we'll record another one right after this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.